Welcome back. It's time now for our Top 4 in 4 segment, where I review the top 4 stories of the week in 4 minutes. These stories consist of the most shocking headlines, newsmakers, videos, and images that definitely caught our eye this week. We're starting with a serious story. Coming in at number 4, we head to the Midwest, where a sheriff says 4 people, including a gunman, are dead after a series of shootings in south central Kansas. The Harvey County Sheriff's Department gave the updated death count at a news conference yesterday night. The sheriff says all the dead were shot inside Excel Industries, which makes lawnmower products in Heston. He says law enforcement killed the suspect, who was an employee. He says 14 people were injured in the attacks, which took place at 4 locations. Meanwhile, law enforcement officers have surrounded the suspect's home. The sheriff says the suspect's roommate may be inside. A spokeswoman for the city of Newton says when officers arrived there, they heard loud music blaring from the home and no one answered the door. The nearby Newton Medical Center has been locked down since, with people not allowed to enter or leave. Coming in at headline number 3, the GOP presidential candidates are barreling into the final stretch to Super Tuesday after a name-calling, insult-trading, finger-pointing final debate. The Houston debate featured a tag-team attack on Donald Trump by Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. Both senators are anxious to take down the frontrunner before it's too late to stop him. 11 states vote on Tuesday with 595 delegates at stake. Trump has 3 straight victories behind him and momentum on his side. His rivals know they have to change that dynamic to halt Trump's march toward the nomination. It is far from clear that Thursday's debate did much to solve their basic conundrum. Trump and Rubio are struggling to emerge as the clear alternative to the frontrunner as non-Trump voters divide their support among the alternatives. Coming in at number 2, at first, many Americans like the idea of Medicare for all, a cradle-to-grave government-run health system that's a rallying cry for Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. But bring up the trade-offs from higher taxes to giving up employer coverage, and support starts to shrivel. That's the key insight from an AP GFK poll released yesterday. The survey also found that people's initial impressions of Sanders' single-payer plan are more favorable than their views of President Barack Obama's health care overhaul. 39% support replacing the private health insurance system with a single government-run, taxpayer-funded plan that would cover medical, dental, vision, and long-term care, with 33% opposing. Only 26% say they support Obama's hard-won health care law. When asked whether they would continue to support Sanders' plan if their own taxes went up, under a third of initial supporters of the plan would keep backing it. And coming in at number 1, one aircraft manufacturer has created a new design that may make flying more comfortable for obese passengers. Airbus, one of the top aircraft manufacturers, has designed a bench geared to fit 2 overweight passengers, according to a patent application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The bench isn't only geared toward obese passengers. Airbus notes that the seat can be configured to seat people with mobility problems or families with small children. The design comes at a time when America is struggling with an obesity epidemic, given that more than 1/3 of U.S. adults are considered obese. Pricing would be up to the airlines, but it's possible that the bench would allow airlines to charge obese passengers more money than a single economy ticket, seeing that the bench can fit 3 adults or a family of 4. Be sure to join me next Friday. I'll be stacking up a new list of interesting stories and headlines of the week that certainly caught our eye. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Renae Skinner. We'll have a look at weather right after this.